79er traffic Cessna November 15136, taking off runway 26 departure to the west.
Chignik Lake is a census-designated place in Lake and Peninsula Borough, Alaska, United States. It is 475 miles southwest of Anchorage. At the 2020 census, the population was 61. Geography. Chignik Lake is on the southeast side of the Alaska Peninsula and comprises all of Chignik Lake, the water body, as well as land to the northeast and southeast of the lake and land to the south of the Chignik River, the lake's outlet. According to the United States Census Bureau, the CDP has a total area of 22.8 square miles, of which 12.2 square miles are land and 10.5 square miles, or 46.27%, are water. In 2009, the Marines of 4th Combat Engineer Battalion, 4th Marine Division, began work on an inter-village road system linking Chignik Lake to Chignik Lagoon. This is the first phase of potentially creating road links between Chignik Lake, Chignik Lagoon, and Chignik.
Alright, so that was a little bit of a Bushtalk Radio on Chignik Lake here. That is the old version. I did learn that there is a Bushtalk Radio that's compatible with 2024, but we haven't installed that just yet. But we kind of figured we would go and see if there was something in the old one that we can play, and that was that. But appreciate you tuning in here. We got the holiday week, so it's been a little slow, and doing a little bit of the family thing, and so we're taking off here over at A79 Chignik Lake, and we're going to be heading over to Heiden Port, I believe. That's PAPH, right? PAPH. We're on leg number 8 here, so we only got 4 more to go. We're definitely going to finish this up before the new year. Appreciate you tuning in, of course. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. We got a lot of stuff going on here. So this is our Alaska tour, and we're going to go ahead and do a Flight Sim 24 career mode after this morning, I believe. So as we fly up over here by the lagoon and the fishery, we are going to be coming up to our next Bushtalk Radio of Benny Benson, who apparently lived from September 12th, 1912 to July 2nd, 1972, and he is actually the one that came up with the Alaskan flag, I believe. So we'll go ahead and play that one.
John Ben Benson Jr., September 12, 1912 to July 2, 1972, was an Alaska native best known for designing the flag of Alaska. Benson was age 14 years old when he won a contest in 1927 to design the flag for the territory of Alaska, which became a U.S. state on January 3, 1959. Benson was born in Chignik, Alaska, on September 12, 1912. He was a Kawalanjan Unangan-born to a Swedish-American father, John Benny Benson Sr., and Annie's Russian mother, Tatiana Ivanovna Didiakina, from a village near Unalaska. When he was 3 years old, his mother died, forcing his father to send him and his brother Carl to an orphanage, as Benson's father could not take care of them. Benson grew up at the Jesse Lee Home for Children in Unalaska and later in Seward. 32 years before Alaska was to become a state, the Alaska Department of the American Legion sponsored a territorial contest for Alaskan children from 7th grade to 12th grade. Benson's design was chosen to represent the future of the Alaska Territory. Up to that time, Alaskans had flown only the U.S. flag since the territory was purchased from Russia in 1867. His design was chosen over roughly 700 other submissions from school children territory-wide in grades 7 to 12. Most other entries featured variations on the territorial seal, the midnight sun, the northern lights, polar bears, and or gold pans. For his achievement, Benson was awarded $1,000, an engraved watch, and a trip to Washington, D.C.
Alright, little Bushtalk Radio on Mr. Benson there. And we're going to be going north here and fly up and around, or actually up and over these mountains. So we'll get a good look at some Alaskan scenery here. Got another Bushtalk Radio just on the Alaska Peninsula, so we'll go ahead and play that one as well. And then we got one more about Heiden, Port Heiden, a little geographical knowledge about where we're headed, so we'll play that one as well. This one's only 1 minute for the Alaska Peninsula.
The Alaska Peninsula is a peninsula extending about 800 kilometers to the southwest from the mainland of Alaska and ending in the Aleutian Islands. The peninsula separates the Pacific Ocean from Bristol Bay an arm of the Bering Sea. In literature, the term Alaska Peninsula was used to denote the entire northwestern protrusion of the North American continent, or all of what is now the state of Alaska, exclusive of its panhandle and islands. The lake and peninsula borough, the Alaskan equivalent of a county, is named after the peninsula.
Alright, we'll increase our elevation here as we get closer to these mountains, because I'm sure some wind will be whipping around them. Pull up our navigation system here. We will go ahead and X out the weather. And we'll tune into the Anchorage Center. Request flight following.
Anchorage Center, Cessna, November 15136 is type Cessna, 152.8 miles north of Kilo Charlie Golf, 3,100 feet. Request flight following. Cessna, November 15136 Anchorage Center. Squawk 6227. Squawk 6227 Cessna 136. Cessna 136 radar contact. 9 miles north of Kilo Charlie Golf, 3,400 feet. Altimeter 29er. 9er 2. Roger, Cessna 136.
Alright, we got ATC out of the way. Some nice views here of the mountains. We'll grab that as a possible thumbnail. Still got Jeff aboard. Alright, we might have a couple of things left here. Alright, so where we're headed to is Port Heiden, Alaska. Yeah, we will go ahead and play that one. Mark it as complete. This one is only 1 minute long, so not too much to talk about, but there is some military presence, I guess. So So we will talk about that here.
Port Heiden, Alushik, Masrik is a city and lake and peninsula borough, Alaska, United States. As of the 2020 census, the population of the city is 100, slightly down from 102 in 2010. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 51.4 square miles, of which 50.7 square miles of it is land and 0.7 square miles of it is water. My first view of Port Heiden, Alaska, is from 1,000 feet above. It is a grey, wet day, but that does not mute the bright green and brilliant blue below. We fly into the village over hundreds of lakes, ponds, and free-flowing rivers and streams. All of this fresh water feeds Bristol Bay, the eastern arm of the Bering Sea, and its adjacent lush landscape. No roads lead to Port Heiden, and there is no safe harbor to dock a boat in. The only way for an outsider like me to reach this remote community on the Alaska Peninsula is to fly. A well-worn red and white single-engine plane that would struggle to seat more than a dozen people has just shuttled us 140 miles from King Salmon.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So the only way to get to this town is by plane. We also got out here a 37-year-old volcano.
Mount Aniakchak is a 3,700-year-old volcanic caldera approximately 10 kilometers in diameter, located in the Alaskan Range of Alaska, United States. Although a stratovolcano by composition, the pre-existing mountain collapsed in a major eruption forming the caldera. The area around the volcano is the Aniakchak National Monument and Preserve, maintained by the National Park Service. In November 1967, Aniakchak caldera was designated as a National Natural Landmark by the National Park Service. Mount Aniakchak was previously a glacially eroded stratovolcano of andesite composition with a pre-caldera volume of 75 cubic kilometers. Andesitic material in the volcano included basalt and dacite. The mountain collapsed, forming the present-day caldera, during a major eruption of V=6, which left evidence in ice cores dated to 1645 BC, which was later moved to 1641 BC in the Greenland Ice Core Chronology 2005 timescale. Recently, McInerney and Bailey have suggested that the Gecko 5 ice core dates in the 17th century BC may be around 14 years too old, meaning that Aniakchak actually erupted in 1628 or 1627 BC. Since then, more than 20 eruptions have occurred from vents on the caldera floor. Vent Mountain has been the source of numerous eruptions of ash, bombs, and lava flows since the caldera formed. From 1500 BC to AD 1004, lava domes were extruded on the caldera floor. Textural evidence shows that these lava dome eruptions occurred beneath ancient Surprise Lake, which was as deep as 100 meters. Ancient Surprise Lake drained catastrophically before about AD 1000. Surprise Lake, Aniakchak's crater lake, is now about 2.75 square kilometer in area and up to 19.5 meters deep. Before or immediately after this draining, explosive eruptions of andesitic magma produced a cluster of 3 tuff cones in the southeast part of the caldera.
Alright, so that was a little history lesson on Port Heiden there. We are about 20 miles out from the airport here, so not too long to go. It's about 10 minutes. At this rate of speed that we're going. And we're looking at the navigation map here. It looks like I'm going to land into runway number 32. The navigation says that's an asphalt runway, 5,200 feet in length. The taxiway is right up there in the front. So we'll see if we'll be able to make that or not. Or if we're going to have to turn around a little bit to come back to general aviation parking. But overall, doesn't seem too bad. We got, 18 miles to go here. Runway sits at about 86 feet above elevation, sea elevation that is. So we are on the most direct path here. So we're going to reduce our elevation a little bit here because we are sitting at 4,000 feet and there's no mountains in between here and the airport. So we're going to reduce our throttle, pitch the nose down a little bit, and we'll do a nice little smooth descent here. We'll go ahead and announce our position. Runway 32, I said, right? Yeah.
Papa Hotel traffic Cessna November 15136 3 miles south 1900. Fort inbound to land runway tree 2.
Probably perfect timing as my first cup of coffee here is coming to an end. But we do have a refill left to go here. that's the runway we're going to be landing on. So we're just going to fly out here, make a little bit of a left-hand turn, and we should be good to go. As we approach the 5-6 mile marker here, we're going to go ahead and announce our final.
Papa Alpha Papa Hotel Traffic Cessna November 15136 is on final runway tree 2 to land.
Alright, we'll keep the runway right there in our left-hand side of the windshield. Until we get a little closer. We are getting our elevation down just a little bit more here. Straighten out just a touch. All right. 3.5 miles out, we'll go ahead and decrease our speed here. We'll get to 85 knots, introduce some flaps. Get prepared for our landing here. We're just going to go ahead and do 20-degree flaps. Got a few street lights here, kind of spotty. Speed check at 80 knots, a little fast, but that's all right. We can get rid of that when we get a little closer. Reducing throttle a little more here. We're at about 75 knots. releasing throttle gently. Let me try to hit the front of the runway here. There we go. Nice little smooth landing. Got a little turnaround to do. We can go into the grass area though. And we'll head on down to general aviation parking, which is right over here. Alright, so we got the fuel station there, we got another airplane, few workers. I'm gonna go ahead and park our airplane. We'll shut this thing down here. And we'll hop out. We got the flashlight going on. And we'll grab that for a thumbnail for the next one. So we saved the first one. Now we're getting ahead here, and this will be number 9. Alright, so appreciate you tuning in. Here we are over at Port Heiden, Alaska, and we got 4 more to go here. So next one, leg number 9, we're going to PAPN, which is let's see where we're going here. So we're going to be on the northern coast here of the peninsula, the Alaska Peninsula National Wildlife. And Pilot Point, I think, is the name of the town. So very interesting here. We're going to be looking at a little flying over the water again, landing. So it seems like elevation is going to be low on the next one. So we've been basically flying up here, and we're getting closer to Anchorage. I know that. Somewhere around here. But nonetheless, we are going to be coming up to a little more populated area, maybe, is what I'm guessing. But yeah, so in the meantime, we're going to do Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 career mode. We're going to try to get that thing going before we have to head out to work. So appreciate you tuning in, appreciate the love and support as always, and hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 400 subs, so hitting one more milestone. So hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day, and we will see you on the next one.